The early sages who were like angels, all the people in the Talmud that are mentioned in the Talmud, they already determined that the healing of the soul is like the healing of the body. The first crucial step is to identify the location of the illness, whether it's caused by the crassness, the grossness, the corruption of the physical body, or by a failing in the soul powers. Right? Sometimes a person has big urges, big, you see, desires. The world talks to him. Spirituality, godliness, values, principles don't. Sometimes it can be just a corruption of the physical body, or sometimes by a failing in soul powers. Maybe a person just doesn't have the inspiration. He doesn't have the awareness of anything higher than himself. No matter how refined his body is, he doesn't have any big desires. Let's say he's a very, how do you say, a very cold sort of a person, but he's just not inspired. A person being inclined to undesirable traits, arrogance, falsehood, and alike. Sometimes people have bad personality problems, right? It's not that they have low, crass desires. They want to have physical pleasures, but they want to have power. They're jealous. Or it could be maybe habit. People get into bad habits and doing things, right? They get into the anger. They just got, or they maybe their parents, they got bad teaching for their parents, or maybe from their environment. All these things contribute to a bad personality. Okay, we have sometimes understand that the problems that we have are not really us. We have problems with our body, maybe with our mind, maybe with our emotions, but not really us. The true us is not these problems. I am an addict. I get angry. I am depressed. It's not. I have a problem with these things. Okay, but first of all, you have to know what's the cause of the illness and the cause of the spiritual infection. It's impossible to start to cure. Right? Sometimes a person can have a bad temper because he learned it from his surroundings. Maybe his father had a bad temper. He learned it from him. Maybe he inherited a tendency to have a bad temper, to get angry. Right? Maybe it's his body. Maybe he has an imbalance, something that he just loses his temper all the time, goes off. You have to find out where is the cause of, I just took bad temper as an example, getting angry. Once you understand what the cause of it is, then you can prescribe an orderly, proper conduct in all matters. What to do, what to avoid, to do good and doing the commandments, designating time for Torah and the study, acquiring good character traits, and holding yourself back and turning away from evil, right? Realizing getting angry is bad, right? Behavioristic, okay. But the most urgent it is that let's say you don't know, you just have a bad temper, you get angry all the time, and you're not time, or you don't know what is the cause of it. Is it from my surroundings? Is it from the bad? Is the Oedipus complex, the Schmedipus complex? Maybe it comes from the superiority complex or the inferiority complex. It comes from the prototypes and the megatypes, whatever it is. Let's forget about why I have these why I lose my temper. The main thing is, number one, I have to know that if I lose my temper, or if I get depressed, or if I'm have pleasures, I go after my pleasures, I let my mind wander. You have to know that that's a disease. And I want to get cured, number one. Number two, you have to know that you can be cured. With hope and trust that with God's help, you will be cured with the sickness. So this is a general principle in Judaism, and in fact, in everything. Anytime you start anything new, even if it's waking up in the morning, the first thing you do is pray to God. First thing you do is pray to God. Say a prayer even for a minute, for a second. Pray to God. God, help me. God, make this day a good day. Right? A person, God forbid, he's a drug addict, is a whatever. So he says, God, please help me find a way to get out of this, right? That's not going to snap you all of a sudden. Ooh, all of a sudden he's going to get a light. It could be. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know if it ever happened, but it could happen. Why not? That's what's going to happen with Mashiach. When people are just going to suddenly realize, what am I doing? But it at least gives you hope that God is always on your side. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you are, you're rejected by everybody, that God is always with you and that you can be cured from, removed, all of your problems can be cured. That is, first of all, you have to know that there's a sickness, that you're not supposed to be this way, you're not supposed to have anger or depression in this. And number two, that you can get rid of it. That it's possible to get rid of it. And that's why it's a good thing to have a friend, a rabbi, people to talk to, so you can get a more objective look on yourself. But with God's help, everything can be fixed. Have a good day with Mashiach. No, I'll tell a story. I'll tell you a story one day. 1 minute.